Good morning. What is today? This marks the end of the first half of 2025. Our phone should be fine. Do I need to log in? Sorry, guys, it does this to us all the time. Two-step verifications on purpose. Good. Okay. All right. July 1st, half of the year is over. So where should you be in your goal setting? Halfway there. Question, do you count your pending sales as business earned in the first half of the year? 100%. So you might have closed 6 and you've got 3 pending. That's 9 deals you did in the first half of the year. And we're always going to have overflow into next year, which is a good thing. Because when you can end 2025 with business already on the books for 2026, boom, it's awesome. Make it happen. I was wondering how you put the microphone on your shirt with one hand. All right, I'm going to run this for a minute. Chris can do anything. For those of you who are wondering, Chris had surgery on his hand, his right hand, his dominant hand. So he's feeling a little bit awkward.
Well, the new CIA torturing devices are making people use a mouse on a computer with their non-dominant hands. So. Oh, good morning.
All right, let's go on. How many title companies do you know that are tech savvy, have amazing virtual security, deliver 5-star service, and will match any price? 1, right? When I say tech savvy, what does that mean? You know, a lot of title companies, you still have to go deliver a check to make your earnest money deposit. That's so antiquated nowadays. What do you do with Paramount? ptitlefl.com. Yeah, and you put in your routing number, check number, account number, done. Your deposit's made. You get a receipt instantaneous. Awesome.
It's here.
Make it I'll make it super security. We have SOC 1 and SOC 2 credit appraisals for security purposes. That's what banks have to have. No other title company has to have that, but Aaron does. Actually, I think I'm having dinner with him tomorrow night. Deliver 5-star service. Those girls do a great job. We'll see Megan in a second, and we'll match any price. Remember that. Don't let anybody tell you, oh, well, your closing fee is $6.95 and somebody else is doing it for $5.95. We'll do it for $5.95, right? But we all charge the same rate. Title insurance is promulgated rate. Nobody can charge anything more or less. It's state set. So the only negotiable fee is the closing fee. So we'll work on that. Ms. Megan.
Hi, good morning. A few things that I wanted to touch on. I saw Tracy ask the question if we can close anywhere remotely down here in the Keys. We can. We can close anywhere in the state of Florida. We offer free mobile notaries. We take care of those costs. We do remote online notaries. And then we also have over 40 offices across the state of Florida. So we have expanded out to Orlando, migrating with Celebration Title Group. So please utilize us if you are in those areas. We do reach out to, the Panhandle and the Miami agents to try and get your business. So if you have any questions on our pricing and those remote options, please contact me. But I also want to touch on certified. The agents that use us a lot know about certified. It is our new system that we are using to verify proceeds, where we're sending the money to. We use it to verify our mortgage payoff wire instructions, seller proceeds. I used it this morning to verify a processing wire instruction for a mortgage broker. They ensure that the instructions are correct. So if for some reason there is a gap and they tell us they're verified and they're not, they are the ones who are responsible for that. So we're paying them to ensure that these instructions are correct and they're verified and there's no fraudulent things that are happening. They also verify identities. They do a KBA and they use your selfie to your ID and verify you are who you say you are. So this is just an extra security precaution that our company takes to avoid fraud. It has protected fraudulent transactions. Please, managers, relay this over to your your offices, because there are agents who are not aware of it. And when they get it, they want to make sure it's not fraud. It is not. It is us. It is trusted, and it works. It has saved deals before.
And some people won't like it, right? We talk about being tech savvy. Megan, how many fraud attempts were we seeing a week?
Quite a bit. I mean, probably within the last month, our company they've pushed out maybe 10 or 15 that have tried to attack just our company.
This is a real problem.
Yeah. Between
And-
vacant lands, wire instructions, impersonation attempts, it's happening. So these are measures that we take to protect your clients. If they are not tech savvy, we understand, we know we do accommodate those as well. Just keep us updated and communicate with us and let us know. But they're to protect you and to protect your seller's investment. We don't want somebody selling their property underneath them. This is why we do this.
And once that money's gone, we never get it back.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important to work with a company that is tech savvy and up on the numbers. Thank you very much. What's our class this month in July?
July is social media with Veronica. I'm hoping to have the flyers this week. We have a new marketing head person over here who's doing our flyers. So hopefully I'll have them this week to get that calendar invite. Veronica's the one that did the last class with us where she was super engaging. So I'm really excited for her to come back with us. And then I did send out a calendar invite for CE credits, and that is in September. So just a reminder on those, it's not through Craig's Zoom. You have to register through the webinar to get your credits and to get into the class. So make sure you register for that one. And then I will hopefully see you guys next Thursday for social media with Veronica.
Unless you have a baby.
Unless I have the baby. Yes. So hopefully I will see you then. If not, I will see you in a couple months.
Cool. Thank you for all you do.
You're very welcome. You guys have a wonderful week.
I'm going to rock and roll this. I got things going on. All right. So today's enlightened perspective. Opportunities naturally come to people who are reliable. Are you keeping your promises? So what does that mean? When you say, I'll call you back on Thursday, do you call them back on Thursday? How do you remember to do that? Calendar. It's really that simple, right? So opportunities naturally come to those people that are reliable. So look at the opportunities you have to be reliable. Most of it is returning calls or keeping appointments. And, I missed an appointment the other day and I was so embarrassed. I don't do that. I swore it was a 12:30 appointment. I thought it was a 1:30 appointment and it was a 12:30 appointment. And so I went to the grocery store before I went home and I felt so bad because she called me and says, where are you? And this is the CEO of Park Square Homes. Oh, I could have crawled under a rock. I felt so bad because I don't generally do things like that. But in my head, it was 1:30. But in my calendar, it was 12:30.
I think that's what a lot of our processes are. A buyer-seller process gives you the opportunity to make 5, 6, 7 touches over a period of time, each of them creating an opportunity for you to do what you said you're going to do. I'm going to schedule an appointment. I'm going to send you a presentation. Can I follow up with you then? I'll see you at this time. And you just end up creating that expectation that I'm a reliable person who does what I say I'm going to do.
And that's what a seller and a buyer both want. Okay, if you don't want, go to my inbox. We're going to go through those blue stars. Compare your listing to this. Kathy Max, right? The second one down. Down. There you go. Just that's all you need to say. These builders are giving $25,000 in concessions and buying interest rates to 2.99%. If you're not talking, the biggest thing we have right now is sellers that are overpriced. I brought up the other day the $19 million house in Apollo Beach. I don't know what kind of drugs he's taking, but they must be really, really good because that makes no sense at all. But if you're not telling your sellers about this and showing them the disadvantage they're at, they're going to sit on the market and you're going to expire. And Chris, what's the stat? The second agent gets the house sold.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that because you got $1,000 sunk into that listing. You're never going to get it back. Okay. So just remember, watch these emails when they come. Print, you have to do that. File, print, Microsoft PDF. Boom. Now it's a PDF. You can put it in your Moxie if you want to.
I think the one big piece here is everybody says, well, I'm in this part of the state, not that part. I'm in St. Pete, that's in Sarasota. I'm in Tampa. When people are looking from out of the state, where's Tampa? A huge area that goes almost all the way out to Orlando. when they think of Tampa. So Tampa includes areas like Sarasota, St. Pete. Where's Orlando? Orlando includes, it's only a 45-minute drive to get over to Tampa. They'll consider here.
At 3 a.m.
They will look at anything, but that's their perspective. They'll look anywhere, especially if they're cost or payment conscious. They're seeing what the payments and costs are, and then Zillow shows them other opportunities like this, and they start seeing that there are possibilities, and they'll look everywhere.
Yep. All right. Let's do the birthday exam. Let's go down the list. I got in order, but it's the top one. This is just, there we go. Let's check this out. Bob Pasquarello has been with us for 22 years. That's so cool. Bob's our kind of our part-time tech guy. So we have a computer problem in office. He gets in his car and he drives to Longboat Key, Sarasota, Indian Rocks Beach. He goes all over the place for us. And he loves it. He has a ball. 22 years with the company. Congratulations, Bob. Thank you for all your service. Mike Reichenbach, 21 years. Mike's birthday is today too, by the way. Right? Dick Wilson, Elizabeth Smart, 16 years. John Lum, that's when we bought List with Megan 16 years ago. Yeah. Joy celebrating her 12th anniversary with us. That's super cool. You can just see the names up there. I'm not going to read them all. 1 year, 2 to 4 years, 5+ years. Look at the 5+ years doubles. So 1 to 5 years. So thank you all for your loyalty and hope to support you longer. Vanessa. Vanessa's going to be my guest on Tactical Thursday this week. Vanessa's our Zillow Showcase counselor. So she knows her stuff. She gives us our reports and shows us what we're doing. 29% of our listings are showcased. That is like beating everybody. That's why they're going after the large brokerages, because we can get the message out. So Thursday, we're going to make a big announcement. We're lowering the price. We're lowering the price of Showcase. I still have to buy the tokens, so we're hoping the lower price increases the business, but it's going to be almost half of what we're charging now. I'll release that on Thursday. She's out of the office. Click on that real quick. Yeah, it's really good. This is Kim Guillory's listing. It's got 7 days on Zillow, 4 bedrooms, 787 views, 52 saves. Kind of blow up on this one, Chris. I can't see the number yet. There we go. This is my favorite part. Emails delivered 161. Emails opened 111. There is nobody that gets an open rate like that, but that is a branded marketing company. They don't think they're a real estate company, but they say they are. Nobody gets open rates like that because they said, oh, Mary Beth was looking in Apollo Beach between 800 and $1.2 million. Here's a new listing in Apollo Beach that's showcased between 800 and $1.2 million. Mary Beth might like that. Boom. And they send her an email and she opens it because it's from Zillow and it meets her criteria where she's been shopping because Zillow knows what you've been looking at. It's like the CIA.
And then they keep sending, when you showcase it, they send back, hey, Mary Beth, I think you might have missed this property. I know you opened the email and checked it out, but this is still there. And then they send out, hey, this one just did a price reduction. You might still be interested. This one has an open house. Still interested in properties in this zip code with your property right there? They keep doing that.
Yeah. And if you're not selling that benefit, so if you liked it at $400, you're going to like it at almost half of that or a little more than half of that. Not much more. Okay. Go down. Okay. So a lot of our sellers now, and this is a concern of mine, if they're motivated and they want to sell, they want to sell. But some people we're seeing more and more want to sell or rent, right? And Zillow is, and I'm not bragging on Zillow because I hate them as much as you do, but I like to keep my friends close to my enemies closer. If you're for sale and for rent, you show up as for sale. And there's a link in the for sale page that'll take you to the rental page. But if you go to look at it for rent, it's not going to pull up. If you want to rent your house on Zillow, you got to buy a rental package to show your house. So if you scroll down, there it is. So it's also listed on Stellar MLS, which will be the rental. So this is a static image. So just know that if you're for sale and for rent, you either pay for the rental or it's going to show up lost in the clutter on the for sale page. I'm not saying it's good or bad. It's just what it is.
Yeah. And also, if you're going to list a property for sale and for rent, try to negotiate at least a 30-day time frame where we can list it for sale only and then add the rental listing after that. Give you the best opportunity to get the best return on your investment for that seller, because if they want to sell it, but if it doesn't sell, they will rent it. Let's try to sell it first. We put a lot of money into a listing for photos, for showcase, for all of these things. So make sure you have an opportunity. I try to get at least 30 days where it's just for sale to try to get the most amount of buyers in there first.
Works for me. Okay. Elevate 21 is July 20th. That's 20 days from today. To the 23rd. It's in Orlando. stay in the hotel, drive back and forth, whatever you want. Really inexpensive to go to. And Jimmy wants me to remind you, he's in Tennessee right now. We have the contest. Every Moxie CMA you do, you have to tell us about it. Moxie buyer presentations we can see, seller presentations we can see, buyer broker agreements, you got to turn them in by hitting submit on .loop. Execute a contract, we'll know about that if you turn it in, and every listing agreement. So you get 2 entries for listings. We still want listings. Why do we still want listings? People say, we've got too many listings. I don't want listings anymore. I just want buyers. Why do you want listings? Because, well, even better, you get more, your sign stays up. So you're marketing yourself because your sign actually has to stay out for a while. And what are you collecting off that sign?
Inquiries.
Inquiries, right? Leads. You call them once and they don't call you back. What do? Call them again, right? So you're building a database of clients that are going to call you. So there's nothing wrong with taking listings when listings aren't selling as fast as they used to. It's actually better.
Do shoe stores only have one type of shoe?
No.
Do they? But well, so why would you only have want to have one type of shoe on your shelves? If a buyer comes and doesn't want your shoe, where does he have to go? To the next agent shoe store. But if you have multiple shoes for them to look at, you could potentially build more rapport with them because, oh, I've got another one just like this. Would this one fit you? Try to maneuver them around, use them as those conversation piece, cast a wider net, get more strands in your net.
So the prizes are, well, you got to buy your own hotel, buy your own pass. If you win the contest, we'll reimburse you for the cost of the hotel and the pass. Or whatever the prize is. Okay. I put this on purpose. So the condo law is going to effect today. What's the biggest change? Who knows it? That's it. Good job, Joe. Yeah, we had a 3-day right of rescission under condo law. Now with all the structural integrity survey and all the other crap going on, now it's extended to a 7-day condo review period. That's the biggest change, but we'll learn more about that. I missed that class yesterday because I had other things going on. Do that one, Tori, if you don't mind. So guys, if you miss the classes, I know you can't do them all, but go down to Thursday. There's a little snapshot. Angelique spends a lot of time doing this, making the screenshots, making it pretty, and then summarizing them, updating your Zoom profile. Jimmy did a really nice little 5-minute segment on that because a lot of you don't show up with your picture when you have your cameras off, and he showed you how to upload your picture, right? And just little things like that. And then downloading the app to your computer or your phone. I don't use the links to join the meeting. I just go to my Zoom button on my phone or my computer, and it says, what do you want to watch? Join a meeting. Join a meeting, drops down all the meetings I've been in, and I just click daily training. That's it. I don't have to look at a link. And if for some reason it's missing, I go to the company calendar and all the links are in there. So if you missed that class on Thursday, Jimmy did a real 5-minute section, watch that section, turn it off and go away. But this is something there to show you. We don't do these classes for fun. You know, we're trying to solve problems along the way. So, yep. We did that with Sammy, that slideshow. This is just, I want you to share this because I want to share it with you. Century 21 does a lot of stuff, and Jody's really good as a brand ambassador. So there's a whole learning schedule, and I'll have to go through the whole thing with you. But for July, there's all kinds of classes. So if you're hungry for information and you're not prospecting as much as you should, watch some of this stuff. This is like the #1 real estate company in the world saying, hey, we got some pretty good people. Action Labs, Moxie Engage, Expand, Lead Gen 21, SOI, all these little classes you could do. And it's all free. And you just register through 21 University. How do you get to Century 21 University? Through 21online.com. So there you go. Oh, okay. We're going to download that. So Jeff's voiceover, the listing presentation video has been created. Well, almost created. The voiceover is done. Now Taylor, the videographer, is putting the pictures behind it. This is 3 minutes and 12 seconds. There is really no reason why you would not put this in your Moxie. You're going to have to put it in.
Thank you for taking the time to.
You're going to have to put it into your Moxie presentation. It's not going to show up there automatically. But to take out the old one, put in the new one. Jimmy will do a class when he gets back. But this is a 3-minute, 12-second video saying, hey, seller, we're a badass company. Can't wait to meet you when I come out to preview your property. So you want to send that out in advance. So
You want to play it?
yep, 3 minutes.
Thank you for taking the time to interview us for the important job of selling your property. And congratulations on stepping back to realize this really isn't just about choosing an agent. This is likely one of the largest financial transactions of your life, and a misstep could be very costly. The truth is, who you hire matters now more than ever. For over 5 decades, our Century 21 family of companies has been the trusted name in real estate success, strategy, and innovation. We've helped over 65,000 families sell billions of dollars in real estate, and now we'd be honored to have the opportunity to serve you. When you hire us, you don't just get a great agent, you get our entire machine. Hundreds of skilled agents, decades of experience, and a dedicated support team that expertly handles over 400 steps from pre-listing to post-closing. We are selling 20 to 50 homes a day, which is something smaller brokerages or agent teams simply don't have the horsepower or infrastructure to manage, especially when unexpected issues pop up. You likely know the Century 21 brand, but what you may not know is we're part of the largest, most successful real estate company in the world. Century 21 operates in 79 countries with over 130,000 agents. Our parent company, Anywhere, also owns Sotheby's, Coldwell Banker, ERA, and many more. Locally, we are the #1 Century 21 company in the entire southeastern United States, and we've been voted a top workplace for nearly 2 decades in a row. Buyers recognize and they trust our brand, and here's how that helps you win. They click on our ads first, they call on our signs first, and they engage faster because of the name behind your listing.
Trusted.
Now, it's important to understand there is no real estate market. What matters is your micro market, which is the handful of homes your buyer will compare yours to. We specialize in making your home the very best option in that lineup. You see, buyers buy with emotions and they justify with logic. We tap into both through our expert staging, professional photography, drone videos, 3D tours, and aggressive global marketing campaign in 16 languages and 30 currencies across over 1,000 websites, including century21global.com. For our luxury and unique properties, selling is an art form. It takes a refined, experienced approach. We deliver with marketing designed to captivate the discerning buyer and dominate the online space. Once a buyer shows interest, our AI instantly captures and routes their information to your agent via text, email, and phone immediately, so we never miss a lead. From there, our negotiation communication skills take over. You'll receive full transparency with bi-weekly updates. Who's viewing your property? Where are they from? How many shares are we getting? How many favorites did we get? Which gives us real-time insights and feedback so we can keep the momentum going and get you sold. Once under contract, our expert team handles everything. The deadlines, the inspections, the financing, the title work, the closing, all while you sit back, relax, and get ready to collect your proceeds. Thanks again for considering us. We are very passionate about what we do, and we look forward to making you our next great success story. With us, you can expect remarkable.
3 minutes and 13 seconds on this one. All right, question. How many of you say all of those things to a seller on a presentation? Nobody. No way you can. 3 minutes and 12 seconds is about as long as you can go. Chris said he was listening to a guy just 3-minute videos. I would watch that guy all day long because 3 minutes is about as long as I can handle. I watched one this morning. It was 33 minutes, but I was eating breakfast and all that type. So I just let it play in the background and let it go. But I didn't pay that much attention because it was too long. That's just long enough. Like, nobody can really get mad at that. So we'll show you how to put it into your Moxie presentation. You send it in advance, let them watch it. Then when you get there, you say, hey, by the way, what'd you think about the video? And they're going to say, oh my God, I didn't realize you guys were in 79 countries, or whatever they say is important to them. And that's how you start building rapport. Cool. Yep. Oh yeah. That's just the voiceover. The pictures go behind it. So he's working on that now. Seller slides. This is, just hit them open, just to download them. Okay. So the new policy, what's clear cooperation policy? You guys know what that is? It's an MLS rule. It says you cannot publicly market a listing unless it's on the MLS. And if it's publicly marketed, it's an automatic fine. I think it's $1,500, right?
I think it's 2,500 now, but
It's
yeah.
a big fine. So if you put your listing and you get listed and it's not on the MLS and you start putting flyers around restaurants and bars and so he reports you, $2,500 fine. That's a lot. So they're talking about office exclusives. Compass is making a big deal out of this. I personally don't see any reason how that benefits the seller. Anywhere agrees with me, and I agree with Anywhere. The seller deserves to get full exposure for the property to everybody. But there's brokerages out there that are not as strong, and they're saying, yeah, Compass is suing Zillow right now. Compass has never made a dime. They're hundreds of millions of dollars in debt, and they're going to sue Zillow, who's never made a dime, and they're hundreds of millions of dollars in debt. So it's two broke guys suing each other, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense. Just hit the arrow button over next. Pros of waivers being entered as an office exclusive. There's a town hall meeting on this at 9:30. That's why I'm rushing, because I want to get through that, because I want to hear that class today. A full listing information is available for broker to track office exclusives. There's a new field in the MLS that you can go to. I'm not trying to teach you how to do this, just telling you it's out there, because you will be able to see under MLS rules, we have to be fair to all of our participants. So if WIPA decides to not put it on the MLS and have it syndicated by IDX to Realtor.com and Zillow and Homes.com and those big channels, you can turn it off. It's still going to be on the MLS. So Joe, you can see it. You still need to call her and get your buyer broker agreement and all that compensation stuff done, but it's not going to be syndicated. So WIPA is going to get more opportunities, but I'm not sure that's in the seller's best interest. Next one. Office exclusive must be filed with the full entry into matrix with access to view the properties limited to the listing office until the seller instructs the listing office to release the listing as active. Seller temporary waiver listings may be filed by the full entry into the matrix as an office exclusive with access to view the property limited to the listing office until and unless the seller instructs the listing office to go active. So the separate thing, they'll just be seen by us, which doesn't, again, make any sense. Do a couple more. Sellers have to sign a disclosure that says this is a stupid idea, but if you really want to do it, you can. Next one. This is Bob Maxwell took all these pictures. He's very involved in MLS. Listing entered in MLS and visible to participants. It's visible. So I would have to call Jackie and say, hey, Jackie, I know it's an office exclusive, but can I show it? And Jackie says, no, my seller doesn't want any showings. I get it. It can be included. Go back one more. Sorry. It can be included in emails. It can be shown. Offers can be made. Like an actual listing. Sellers must sign a disclosure acknowledging that they're not that bright. Oh. So these are your fields. Internet, yes or no. IDX, yes or no. Third party, yes or no. Distribute to wherever you wanted to go. Show property address. So I'm going to learn more about this in a couple of minutes. Office exclusive must be filed by full entry into MLS with access to view the properties limited to the listing office until the seller instructs us to go active. So they're trying to comply with the NAR settlement and the clear. They don't want to get rid of clear cooperation. So this is a balancing act for them. Yeah, I think it's probably all we need to cover on that one. I will get more class on for our contract Friday. I'll have this all written out for you. Yep. Exactly. MLS was to share and provide access to everybody. To that end, Century 21 felt like, hey, we're getting pressure from all the other competitors. They all have exclusive listing sites. We've got a unique situation because we're anywhere, which is Century 21, Coldwell-Banker, ERA, Sotheby's, Better Homes and Gardens, Corcoran Group, and a couple others. All of those listings are going to Anywhere site called Exclusive Look. So that's just only going to promote Anywhere listings, which once again, they're not going to syndicate to Zillow. They're not going to syndicate to Realtor.com and all the other hundreds of websites we go to. I would think so. So anyway, that's coming up too. So I missed that one also because I can't log into their stupid portal. And go down one more as a keep current matter slides. You've got the slides already. Okay. All right. This company is really good. Remember, they're nationwide in focus. So all the stuff we're showing you is a nationwide snapshot, which is pretty much meaningless, but the concepts are still there. The first one. Yeah. Okay. That's shocking to me. Nationwide, look at the inventory curve. Do we have more listings now than we've had before? Holy shit, that's almost 25% more listings in 2025, right? And what are those sellers holding on to? The memory of 2024 and 23 when the prices were really high. When prices are going up 5 to 10 or 25 to 35% a year. Now they're predicting prices going up 1.3% a year. I'm a math guy. If I bought my house in 2020 and it goes up 5% a year, it goes up 25 and it's compounding. So it's not just 25%. It's got 5% plus and 5% on top of that, 5% on top of that. So it's a bigger number. But now they're saying appreciation is at 1.3%. That's a whole different number. So it kind of skews the way we look at things because times change. So if we're holding on to the past and we're pricing in the past, but we're now in the future with that many listings competing to us, what happens? More competition drives prices down. So that's a good slide. Existing home sales are down. Look at that. Look at from 2022. That was a damn good year. 6.5 million home sales. And we got a big piece of that. But look at 2025. So you've got more competition and less sales. Are you having this frank conversation with your home seller? So I want you to have these slides, use them as you see fit. But if you see the graphically, listings are way up here, sales are way down here, and you got all this competition and you're pricing up here, you're going to be there for a while. So let's really question your motivation. Maybe it is better for you to rent because your mortgage payment is fixed at 3%. You're paying $1,600 a month. The damn thing's going to rent for $2,500 a month. Maybe just pocket the cash for a while until things settle out. There's a big suspicion that interest rates are going to come down because the market, the economy is doing quite well, but we don't want it to stop doing quite well. So we want to spur it on. So we'll see how that works, but they're predicting a rate drop this week. This is where your business is going to come from. Expired listings are 17.6% when comparing January through May of 2025 with the same time frame. Trends look like we could end the year as high as 20% more than last year. So what's good about expired listings? The chart's going to tell you next in the next slide. They've already indicated they want to sell. What kind of agent are they working with? How many agents did no business last year?
70 to 75% of all realtors did nothing.
Did not one closing. So they're out there listing properties with no market knowledge, no education, no sales skills, overpricing them. They're expiring. You come in with a brand behind you and sales skills and the truth and doing a real market analysis. You can get that price, show them where, if their motivation's there. So start thinking about adding expired listings because they're coming to the marketplace. More than 1/3 of expired listings relist, and they're calling expired, canceled, and withdrawn. So that's like, if you can't find them on their phone number, then you go knock on the door because ideally they're in your local neighborhood.
Think about that. 4 out of every 10 calls that you make statistically, if you call expireds, will relist within 1 year. 4 out of 10, 38% of them will relist within 1 year of their expiration. And then it goes up to something like 60% in the second year. Within 2 years, 60 some percent of them list within 2 years. So if you're looking for something that has a nearly 50% chance ratio that you're going to get an opportunity or an at bat, call expired listings. 4 out of every 10 will relist within a year.
Find me another ratio like that. What's your cold call converted percentage on an internet lead?
I said before we know, I have to listen for, let's say, about 100,000. That's where my pounds are set up, and I thought I was going to cash out on that 500,000.
Right.
Sure. So
Go ahead.
the question is, hey, they listed at 500,000. They had a
Because they thought they
mindset
could get it.
pulling 500,000 out. That's why they listed before. How do you approach a seller like that who thinks that their home is really worth X? Yeah, they're trying to get that out of their mind. They say, well, how do you do that in any listing presentation that you go to somebody when you go? If you follow our process, none of that matters. They may want this, but by the time we get done through our process of asking them all the questions, going through the presentation, showing them the actives, the pendings and solds that are here right now, by the time we get done going through that process, they almost feel stupid thinking they should still get that number because we've asked them questions along the way. Which one is more like yours? How long was that on the market? How long is that one still on the market? When did this sell? How much of a concession did they get? What's the competition? And they're saying yes and answering all those questions. So for them to want 500,000, they're going to say, I see why my number is so off now. I don't like what you told me, but I like you because we built a lot of rapport along the way through our process. And we've got this connection now. So I trust you, but I'm not ready to put it on the market that low. I'm going to be one of the 60% that doesn't go on market. Or I need to sell. Lionel, thank you so much for telling me the truth. I'm going to be one of the 40%. I just need to figure out if it's in this month, next month, or in the next year. I'm going to be one of the 40% that does relist and sell. That's the process.
Write this down. People don't change their minds. They make new decisions based on new information. right? So your job is to deliver new information. We're not going to change their mind. But if we're not telling them, I read that thing yesterday in the little class I did, and they were saying, how did you decide on my price? I'm sorry, I didn't decide on your price. I gave you the facts and said, where do you want to be? This is your slow price. This is your fast price. Where's your motivation? You picked your price, not me. I don't ever put me in that box. Maybe one more. Most of the relisted homes have sold.
70% of those people that relisted within that year, 40% of expireds will relist, and 70% of those will sell and have sold. So again, where do you want to spend your time?
That's a pretty damn good place to spend it. Is that the last one?
Yeah, that was the last one.
We're almost done. I gotta go on that seller meeting. All right, save the date, top agent luncheon. Oh, I didn't put it on there. It's 8/8. What am I thinking? So August 8th, we have a dinner cruise, a lunch cruise out of Tampa. We got the big boat because we have 120 people we invited to this event because we haven't done one in so long. So it's a Beggins Enterprises list of Beggins thing. But that's August 8th. You got to save the date announcement. We talked about the anniversary calendar. We did the voiceover. Oh, early bird registration for 121 is $675, right? So I'm buying 20 because I got the management and then the top agents that are Centurions. We're gonna pay for those, and you get an extra $50 off. So if we only get a bunch, if you want some, let us know. We'll buy them on our discount because we get a $50. We'll get it for $625. So if you know you want to go to 121 in Las Vegas in April, that's what you want to think. At the Bellagio. And then finally closing up with these, I'm so proud of you guys. It really makes me happy to read these. Susan McGee said, it was a pleasure working with Darlene Langley during the sale of my sweet mother's house. Darlene was very hardworking and meticulous from start to finish, which was about 2 weeks. Yeah, tough market. It truly was a pleasure. Thank you, Susan McGee. Nice. Why don't you read the next one, bottom, Andy?
Andriana Andy is very gifted and talented in her profession. Her confidence, willingness to go the extra mile, and humble spirit reassured both my wife and I we were in great hands. Thank you again, Andy.
Is that really Andy? You guys know her? Is she humble? She doesn't brag. She just kicks ass and doesn't make any noise. Your bankers are going, oh yeah, she's just like that. Diane Hathaway had to say about Sandy Tams. 20 years, she's been my professional and personal friend real estate agent for buying and selling during those 20 years. Her knowledge and professionalism in working with us was outstanding. She is very upfront with us. They appreciate you being upfront with them. Very upfront with us with negotiating with a prospective buyer and kept in touch with us all the time. I would recommend Sandy Tams to sell and buy anybody living in Sun City Center and surrounding towns. Thank you, Sandy. That's pretty nice. It's like she's drilled into Sun City Center, where does Sandy spend most of her time. I mean, Sandy do what, 30 or 40 deals this year?
Yeah, she'll do 30.
She'll do 30 deals this year. How many are going to be in Sun City?
28 of them.
Yeah. Somebody might have a daughter, someone's moved to Valrico, but other than that, she's going to be in Sun City Center. So that being said, your target for the year, $140,000. We have agents doing 80, 90,000 in a month. So it's certainly attainable. You can get there. And that's the beginning of the path of Centurion. Now we will break off to individual meetings, and I'm going to go join Stellar's Town Hall.
Cool. Awesome, guys. Happy Tuesday.